You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean. You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean. Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on the Powerhouse Radio station are those of the host, guests, and callers, are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other hosts or advertisers. The show, found on the Powerhouse Radio station, can promote any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or conditions. Opinions stated by various contributors to the Powerhouse Radio and its programming are not to be considered as endorsed by the Powerhouse Radio station. Visitors are urged to use their own discernment to draw their own conclusion. We emphasize the importance of keeping an open mind.
Yeah, you listen to the sounds of DJ Fourth Quarter in your ear right now. If you're in your car, if you're at home, if you're on your phone, let's gripe, baby.
Driving home and you're feeling kind of tired. Hey, radio play the same thing every day, so you need a little switch in your life. Traffic got you jammed up every night. Tune in to Powerhouse. Wednesday 7 to 9, you need to check them out. I promise I ain't trying to hype, but one good listen tonight, it might change your life. So what's the name of the show? When you need something to just ride to on the go, or you might be home so log on, you can even dial in on your phone. I promise that you're gonna love it. Just try it one time, it'll blow your mind. Now I'ma say it just one more time. Every Wednesday from 7 to 9.
Let's gripe. Let's gripe. Let's gripe. Let's gripe. Let's gripe. Let's gripe. Let's gripe.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. It's Wednesday, November the 13th. Hi out there. Hey, Mckenna.
Hey, Tonia. It's been a minute.
Oh my goodness. We was MIA. We were supposed to be MIA until September. But then life was lifing. Life was lifing so much that we're back now, November 13th. But we're glad to be back. Listeners, we miss you. I was getting the texts. Where we at? Where we coming back? We back. We back. Mckenna, what you got to say to our listeners?
I mean, first of all, I just want to say happy Wednesday. It's really, really good to be back. It feels like it's a lifetime since we've been here. And you're right, life has been life, and there's been so many things that have happened over the summer. And I'm just grateful and thankful to be able to be here, to see you, Tonia, because it's been a minute. We haven't caught up like we should have. Shame on both of us. But it's good to just be here and to see you. And, I just appreciate the listeners wanting us to come back. Um, and I appreciate them reaching out saying, hey, where are you guys? When are you coming back? So we thank you for being patient with us. We thank you for still supporting us. We look forward to, many more good shows throughout the rest of this year and in 2025.
Exactly. You said it. I piggyback on it. You said it. It's so MG, he's running late. He should be hopping in on about 7:30. He reached out to me. He was like, hey, what you doing? What you doing? We got to hook up. So it's just a lot been going on. Just with the regular everyday life thing. Hold on. I'm doing my text. Hold on one second. Hold on. Just with the regular everyday. So I had my phone on and I'm trying to text and the volume was up because I'm on YouTube. So I'm sorry, guys. But so much been going on. There is a lot of transitions, a lot of changes, and sometime you got to take a break from a break, if you know what that means. So just trying to get back in the groove, and then of course with the life is life, and I was so eager to come back in, trying to come back in, because I'm thinking that, let's gripe, we could kind of get the voters out for the election that just passed. And in one hand, I was like, man, if we had went live, maybe it would have been a different result. That's what I told myself, okay? I'm just saying. However, we're not going to dwell on the election. As the president of the United States today, and the vice president, they said it was a fair election, and we're going to leave it as that. We're not going to be mad at nobody. We just going to have to take how we take, how the things, when they say you have to accept the things that we cannot change. I am accepting it, and just have to live life. I want to be around, so it is what it is. Life is life in. So we don't even want to dwell too much on what happened on election night. But if they want to talk about it, they'll come in the chat or text me or whatever. Mckenna, do you have anything to say about it? Because we want to get into some real stuff that's really been going on out here in the streets. Because I'm about the streets right now.
The only thing I have to say is, find your peace. People are very anxious about all of the appointments and, who he's going to put in different positions. And I just encourage people to find peace. There are things that are within our control and there are things that are outside of our control. And protecting your peace is very important, because many people suffer with anxiety, many people are stressed out, many people are very disappointed. And so I just encourage us to protect our peace, whatever that looks like for you. For me, it looks like limiting the amount of news that I watch, because the news will have me anxious. So that's one thing that I started after COVID, and I said, I need to go back to limiting the amount of news that I watch. So I'll read articles, but I do limit that. So it's different for everybody. Over the summer, I started walking outside because it was just really nice when it cooled down. And even September, October was really nice, to go outside and walk. So we have to find those things to do to protect our peace, because there's going to be chaos. There's going to be things that are not fair. They're not just, that are plain out evil and wicked. And some of that we can't control, but the things that are within our control, let's focus on those. Let's focus on what we can do in our local communities, our local schools, our local churches, our neighborhood homeowners associations, our committees and things like that. So those places, that book clubs, find a space where you can contribute, you can add some value, you can learn, you can grow, and you can make a difference, and let the rest of it be where it's going to fall, and the chips fall where they may, and just stay prayed up. Let's Gripe is a praying show. All of us believe. And so, we just encourage our listeners to do those things that protect their peace. And that's all I really want to say on the election and the outcome and the things that happen.
I second that. I second that. I second that. But what we got to, it was just two little things. The hope, it felt good. That hope felt real good. It was to imagine, and it was good for that moment. It really was. It was good for that moment. But again, like we said, things we cannot change. And our current president said it was a fair election, and we're going to accept the results, and we're going to accept it. But I want to go into some little stuff, just give some things that's been going on with me. My goodness, I'm back. She back.
Oh,
She back. 2023 was rough. And I could say that I'm back. I'm back to myself and actually growing. And I love it. Mckenna, you know me, very sensitive, very emotional, very caring, very loving. I'm still those things. However, I am in a place now where I'm not going to let it bother me. I'm not going to let it get to me. I know how to throw my hands up and back up. It feels good. It feels good. The smile on my face. Ooh, wouldn't y'all like knowing that smile came? Life been lifing.
Uh-huh. There's a story. I hear a story that I hear a story. Okay, I'm listening. I'm leaning forward. I'm leaning forward. I'm listening. Leaning forward. Mm-hmm.
Life has just been lifing. It's so amazing. A lot of times when you go through things, you doubt yourself. You doubt you doubt yourself with a lot of things. You doubt yourself if you're worth it. If someone is going to appreciate you. You doubt. You have a lot of doubt. And when the doubts that you have, and then it's a different response that you're getting from people. It's like, okay, but then it makes you realize where that doubt, that low self-esteem, that where it was coming from. It was people, or it was a person. It was a person that was actually driving those negative thoughts in your head. Had you, oh, such and such, have you feeling such a way, but then someone else, even your friend, your mother, your sister, your brother, strangers, could see you and see that light that you wasn't seeing, and that light was probably dim for a good while. So it feels good when I encounter people just in general, and they're complimenting me as far as my smile, or just like, oh, you just seems like a happy person, or you just seem at peace. And I'm like, what? And then that's when I realized that I was growing. That's when I realized that I was in a place that I never thought I would get. So it's really a good thing, and I love it. And this smile, Mckenna, you used to this smile. So when people were seeing they wasn't used to that, and I'm just happy. I'm back, and life is life, and now I just if I don't feel like being bothered with anything, it doesn't matter what it is. I'm just not being bothered, because I was too much wrapped up in trying to save the world, trying to save the people around me, trying to be the big person, and now it's like, oh, whatever. But it feels good. Hey, Miss Butterfly. Um, Miss Butterfly, she celebrated her birthday last week, November 8th. Let's say happy birthday, Miss Butterfly. Of course, my sister, her birthday was also November 8th, too. So kudos. Happy birthday to Debbie. For all of the November's babies and the Scorpios, happy birthday. Celebrating one of my best friend. Her birthday is actually Saturday. So she'll be celebrating her birthday as well. So if you have any birthday, you want to do any shout out, you know how we go. Either email us at let'sgripe.com. let'sgripe@gmail.com, or the powerhouse radio at gmail.com, or even in the text. So guess what? You're listening. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Go ahead and share the video, because we're about positive, and we're about encouraging and motivating each other, because that's what we need in this trying time, is motivating and encouraging each other, to let each other know that when you think, it looks dark, it looks dim, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So go ahead and like and share and subscribe. Mckenna, you want to share anything that what you've been going through, some things that you might have done?
Well, first, I just want to say I'm really proud of your journey, and where you are currently. I see and I sense the peace within you and the growth. And I think it's just a good place to start this show, just reminding people that we have our own journey. We all go through different things. Some of us are private and we keep it private, and some of us post it all over social media because we have to get it out. But no matter, how you deal with it, just make sure that at the end you have a story to tell, because we go through things so that we can encourage other people. Other people encourage us, and it's important to give ourselves permission to be human, and then realize that, we are people worth valuing, and we have positive attributes, and sometimes we forget those. But the Lord will put people in our places to remind us, you are wonderful and beautifully made. And you're made in my image. And so in life, in nature, in song, in music, in poetry, sometimes we get these reminders in different places, in different spaces, and it's important to honor that. And then touch back in with ourselves and reconnect with ourselves so that we can let our smiles or our light shine so that other people can be attracted to that light or that smile or that radiance or that positive energy. Um, and so I just wanted to, say that I'm excited about, your chapter and where you are, and I appreciate you sharing. And I'm very proud of you for, being vulnerable and being humble to share that with us. As for me, this has been a good year. It was my 50th lap around the sun, and I've just been reflecting. I've been practicing gratitude. I've been, how I do, moving around a little bit. And my gripe for today was that I can feel the coolness in the air, and I refuse to turn the heat on because it's not quite cold enough. And I looked at the date on the calendar. I'm like, well, it is November. And I was like, no, I'm going to see if I can push it one more week. So I am determined to wait until at least Thanksgiving before I turn the actual heat on in here. But I've just been, doing the same, reflecting, reminding myself that life is a journey and it's meant to be enjoyed. It's meant to be lived. It's meant to have lessons to learn because if we don't go through something, then how can we encourage other people, And I think that's one of the beauties of life. It's not meant to be perfect, but it is meant to be a process and perfection in progress because we're always looking to better ourselves. And as we say, it looks different for everybody. So we can't look at the neighbor and say, oh, well, the neighbor has a such and such, and that must mean that I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Take your eyes off of other people and focus on ourselves is the lesson that I'm learning for myself. Don't measure yourself by what other people do because what you see on the outside might not be what's on the inside. So work on the inside out. If you have a short tongue, then be mindful of what you say. If you have a short temper, then work on patience. If you are um, fearful, work on having more faith. If you are introverted, work on doing something that is, of interest. If you're a chatterbox, work on listening. So those are just things that, we've talked about over the years since we've been here at Let's Gripe, and these are just good reminders, especially as we enter the end of the year season. And we said this before, the end of the year is not jolly for everyone. Some people, it's a tough time. People have lost people. People are sad because, they're looking at the commercials or they're looking at the Black Friday sales and we're focused on all kinds of things. And so, like I said earlier, find your peace, find what brings you peace, and bunker down because it's going to be very turbulent in these next few years.
Oh, you said it. So what you said? Buckle up.
Buckle up, but put that seatbelt on. Put that seatbelt on. Put that seatbelt on.
I'm just saying. So Kim said shout out to y'all and to Bernard, y'all. So she watched when Bernard, he is one of the he's a black young man that has a hemp store in Peach Tree City. He was on a show a few years ago. So definitely they do have some things out here naturally and even hemp wise as far as for your mental being and so forth. I remember I used to take Xanax here and there because my anxiety as I'm getting older were just on fleek. But I can honestly say I have not taken any at all this year. I went through the rough waves without it, and
Mhm.
I have to say it feels good. It feels good not needing that to help through the rough patches. But like you said, whatever you can do to get to that peace, do it. Sometimes it's just having good friends that you could call and chat. You might be on the phone for hours, and sometimes you have to have a bottle, a glass of wine. You
Thank
might
you.
have the bottle right beside the glass. So you keep pouring. You're home. You can do what you want to do. If you fall asleep on the sofa, well, there's a lot of things. It's just things that we have to do just to get to that point. But one of the things that I did post on Let's Gripe Facebook page today, announcing that we'll be back live tonight, was when the side chick The side chick been a side chick for all these years. And when the queen got up off that throne because she didn't want to be there no more, they thought they was gonna get that crown, but somebody else got it. So now they still a side piece. How, how they feel right now?
I don't know how they feel right now. Probably a little defeated and deflated.
I like that deflated. Cause
A
can
little
you
defeated.
imagine? You waited all these time. You know, cause somebody, they hear they call them side chick, whatever they call
Mhm.
themselves, right? They waited all these years for the queen to leave the throne because they thought they was gonna get the crown on their head, and then they end up somebody else and came and got into the got got on the throne.
So what I'm hearing is they thought they were going to get promoted,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
somebody else interviewed for the position and got the position.
and got the position.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another lesson in life. You know, it's another lesson in life. Um, you have to know what your position is and isn't. And if you accept a position hoping that you're going to get promoted, but the promotion is not for you, then
Mm.
that's not your position.
Ooh.
Um, so, and that comes in all kinds of spaces. We're talking about relationship, but that comes in lots of different places. That
Mm.
promotion wasn't for you. That wasn't your position. It wasn't your position when you got into the side chick position. Um, and it wasn't your position when the first queen moved on and there was a vacancy. It still wasn't your position was
Mm.
scientist. That was your position. You
Mm.
volunteered for it, you signed up for it, you understood what the qualifications were, you understood what the duties and the responsibilities were of this side chick position. You probably did a very good job at being this side chick, this position that you're in. But please understand this is your position. Zero no higher.
Ooh. We just need.
Zero no higher.
Ooh. Well, let's go and give a shout out to Elaine. Elaine, we see you popped up. Thank you for joining us tonight, Elaine. Thank you. I mean, go ahead and put it in the comments if you guys want. What about the side chick who thought she was going to get promoted and instead she's still in the same position?
Mhm.
Ooh, wee.
But the thing about that is she can always make a different decision. Just because you signed up for something and you stayed in a position, we stay in places too long sometimes.
Mm.
Sometimes we're in a place and we're in that place too long and we're comfortable in that place and it feels safe and it feels secure. It's just familiar. It doesn't mean that it's anything, but that's just something that's familiar. You know what to expect. You know when it's your turn because there's rules or there's you have your own time because you're on the side. So you're not 9 to 5. You might be 3:30 to 4:30, or you might be 7:30 to 9:30, or more like 10 to 12. But you're in this particular position that you signed up for. And we get in those positions in life sometimes accidentally. Sometimes we don't necessarily know what we're signing up for, what the job description is until we actually get into the position. And then once we're in there, then we can decide, you know what, this isn't really where I want to be. Let me leave. Sometimes we linger too long in that position. And then we get, what do they call it in Hollywood? Typecasted. Like the same actor plays the same role over and over again. And every time you see them in a movie, they're that same character. They never really get to move and grow in Hollywood. They're just, like the same position. And like what's his name? Alfonso Roberto, what's his name?
Carlton,
So,
right.
yeah, Carlton got stuck in Carlton. He got stuck. He got, and I'm sure he sings and he dances and he's funny, but he just got stuck in that position. We never saw him like in a serious role that we can remember. He kind of got stuck being Carlton, and that happens to us in life. We get stuck in these positions, sometimes on accident and sometimes on purpose because we refuse to move, and everybody's telling us, hey, you know You're bigger than this, you're better than this, there's something else out there for you, but you want to just be the side chick. That's what you want to do. Okay. All right. So if that's the role that you've been in, and there becomes a vacancy, the person who's doing the hiring already put you in the position that they wanted you in.
Mm.
That's where they had you. They had you there for a reason because you're good at that position.
Oh.
They don't necessarily think you would be good on the throne.
Oh.
Otherwise, they would have elevated you a long time ago.
A long time ago.
So hopefully that person is coming into their own worth, and acknowledging that they stayed in a position maybe past the time that they should have been in. And they have to do some reckoning within themselves. Say, you know what? I wronged this other person. Even if they never go back to the other person and apologize, they need to apologize to themselves, for staying in a position too long. Um, and think about like jobs and employment. You trained your supervisor. What you mean? You see plenty of articles and plenty of stories on TikTok and IG about people having to train their supervisor and feeling really upset. Like, why was I overlooked for this position? Maybe that position wasn't for you. Maybe you have to move in order to get in the place you're supposed to be.
Move to a different department. Exactly. That way we look at
Um,
the work side, and when it's
mhm,
a relationship, be like, hey, okay, so because accepted this position, because I'm gonna wait for you to take care of what you need to take care, but I got stuck in it.
you
Ooh.
got stuck. I got stuck. The boss was telling you, just hang in there. I need you to run this errand and come on, let's go on this little trip real quick. Or let me give you $200 so you can do such and such. So you think you're good. You're good in your position. You are good, but only in that position. You're
Mm.
only in that position. You're not number one. You're not at the family reunion. You're not at the. You're in the side chick position. You're over here in this position. This is where you are, and you can be fantastic in that position. And some people only desire that position. But when you
Mm.
actually desire something more and you get passed over for the promotion, it's time to look at yourself and say, hmm, hmm, uh-oh, uh-oh,
Mm.
ouch. It's an ouch moment. You know what I mean? It's an ouch moment. It
Yeah,
is. It's an ouch
it makes
moment.
me think the ouch. Yes.
It's an ouch moment because other people are looking at you like, we tried to tell you who this person was. He ain't changed. He the same person that put you in your position. Come on now. He overlooked you for the promotion before.
But hey, let me add a little bit more, a little seasoning to this.
Okay, add
So some
some
seasoning
seasoning
because
salt, some seasoning.
you know us black folks, we like God stuff seasoned.
We ain't sneezing, it ain't seasoning.
It ain't seasoned. You take it. No, wait a minute. I ain't sneeze. Hold on. But how about what I tend to say is if you're waiting for someone to leave someone to be with you for you to become the main woman or man, because some
Mhm.
it's both ways. You're not worried that if you do become the main, that he is gonna have a side. You're not
So,
concerned about that.
Tonya, we live in this big old bubble of denial, right? Because it's more comfortable to believe things that are not true. Like we clearly see who this person is. We see who we are with this person. We see who this person is with other people. And sometimes we protect our peace by believing the lie.
Mm.
It's not healthy. It's not it's not healthy, but sometimes we protect our peace by believing the lie. Because when we have to deal with the truth is going to make you uncomfortable. And it's going to put you in a position to actually have to either A, be accountable or stay in the lie. Because if you say, I'm the side chick out loud to yourself, and then you say, well, I know, he's just in that situation for, you know, until they sell the house or until the child turns 18 or until he gets that promotion and moves to Savannah or until whatever that until is, because there's always something,
Right.
um, until the business gets up and going and the income is more steady. Um, if you don't believe that, then it makes it harder to stay in the side piece because then you have to deal with the truth. So sometimes we protect ourselves with the lie. Because
With
if we don't, we have to look at ourselves. And then what kind of person am I? We talked about all kinds of things in the beginning of the show, having better self-esteem, feeling more worthy about ourselves. What kind of person am I knowing that I have on purpose, intentionally, deliberately, for too long of a time, stayed in the side piece position? Maybe in the beginning, I believed the lie because the lie was being told, but after a minute, you see the pattern, you see the behavior, you see the person, and you realize, oh, this really isn't true. He really is this person who, and some men like to have two women. That's just who they are. That's who they are. You don't have
mm,
nothing to do with you. If it was somebody else before you, and it'll be somebody else after you. Or some women like to have two men, or so some women like to have two women, and some men like to have, like some people like to have an A and a B selection. That's just how they like to live their life. It don't have nothing to do with you. That's who they were before they met you. They were that person who liked to have their cake and eat it too.
but you
It's
know
rough.
what, you is the truth. You said it. That is the truth, and I realize that that's what a lot of people do. I remember being young before when I was younger, and I remember thinking, "Oh, I'm just gonna, kick it, whatever. It's not a big deal because I'm having fun." But when you get older, when you get on the other side, what they say, it don't feel good when the rabbit got the gun.
Ooh, baby, baby, listen, we don't get to be 50 without having experiences in life. These hot flashes didn't come from nothingness now.
It don't, because I'll tell you what last year when I told you I buku'd, I griped with my friends and I told them, I said, I'm gonna take this one for the team. I'm gonna take it for the team. Because there was a time when I didn't care. Do it feel good? No, it doesn't feel good.
No, it
It don't
doesn't.
feel good.
It's tough. It really is tough. But that's why we have to learn and grow. We
Elaine said
learn.
foolish thinking, but so true. It is. I think a lot of times we tend to tell ourselves things. You said it. We believe the lie for our peace. And I remember my friend asked me a question a few months ago about
Mhm.
the situation last year. And I said, I wanted to believe the lie. I knew there was lies, but I just wanted to believe it.
Mhm.
And she was like, whoa. And, hey, MG, he's having a little issues getting in. Hopefully, we could get him fixed in to come in before we go off. And,
Embrace your inner
and
toxic.
raise your inner toxic.
We all have inner toxic traits, right? We have them. The thing about it is we have to know what they are and work on them. We have to know what they are. And Tony, I think that being able to say it out loud frees you up a little bit. It frees you. Being able to say, I knew it was some lies over here, some tomfoolery, some trickery. I knew it was some lies. But I don't, and you talk about anxiety, we don't have time to do everything at one time. So sometimes we just go along to protect the peace. I'm going to go in here and make me some rice and peas and some chicken. I'm going to call it a day. If you eat, you eat. If you don't, you don't. Because when I clean up the kitchen, it's gonna be in the refrigerator, and that's it. That's the end of the day. I'm gonna put these pajamas on and pour this wine, and I'm gonna turn the TV on, and that's it. Like I don't have any more space to be dealing with these truths and these lies today. So we just don't eat this food here, and that's it. It's the end. Um, toxic. Listen,
Yeah,
that toxic.
yes, I need MG to hurry up and get on in here because he having some technical difficulties because he'll probably be able to add some icing on the rest of it because it's so true. Because when you said it, you accept the lies with peace. It's so true.
Yeah. And MG, I had the same problems because I hadn't signed in it so long. It was like taking me to the left, and I was like, I don't know what my password is, and it was a mess. But it's true, Tony. We accept the lies to protect our peace,
Yeah.
and because it's easier. It takes work to confront the lie. It takes a lot of work to confront the lie. You have to be willing for the truth, for the other person to admit the truth. You have to be willing to deal with whatever the consequences are of the lie being revealed. It's just a lot of work.
Mm.
And then what if you confront the person and they play in your face still? Because people will do that. You
Play
have
in your face.
play
Play in your
all in your face, all in your face.
Well, you remember what Shaggy, who was Shaggy and who
It
song?
wasn't. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
I walked in on you. It wasn't me. That wasn't me.
Caught you in the shower.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't
It
me.
wasn't.
And I saw your birthmark, and you only can see your birthmark where you.
It wasn't. It wasn't me. Tony, it
I'm
wasn't
just
me.
saying, we need to normalize a lot of things. I really hope that women and men, because men go through it too. I really hope that us as individual could really start, because I met someone a few months ago, and he was telling me what was in the Bible. It said, when the Lord said, when it's to the end, people start like loving but he wasn't saying it in a good way. When they start loving, self-love, but it wasn't like, it's in a good way, but they're starting to, it's all about them. It's all about their self.
Mm-hmm.
And then I looked at him, but I'm like, but I believe it shouldn't. He had me thinking of what he was saying. So I'm saying, okay, so for someone to say, you know what, I'm tired of going through this. I'm tired of going through that. I'm going to focus on me. I'm going to love me more. I'm going to embrace me. Mm-hmm. You're dictating in the Bible as it is something wrong. And the other day I thought about it. I said, no, I said, maybe he's just interpreting it wrong, because a person, I can speak for myself, getting closer to God and wanting to be like Christ-like, but at the same time putting myself first before other people and neglecting my peace, my sanity. How is that wrong? But then I realized that person was a manipulator. So I had to say, you taking his words and you're trying to do it a certain way. Okay, Lord, I know you love, and I know I got to love you first so I can love others. I know you say love thy neighbor. If your neighbor needs some food, you help your neighbor.
But he also says, love thy neighbor as yourself. So we forget that. We forget the as yourself part. We got to pour into ourselves so we can love our neighbor. If I don't love myself, how am I love my neighbor? If I don't care if I eat today, why would I care if my neighbor ate today? If I don't care, that I had on clean clothes today, why would I care if my neighbor had anything to wear? So the love thy neighbor as thyself part, the as thyself part is important.
So why do they leave off that part? But that's why I said, when that individual was talking, I kind of said, I believe that you're twisting his words to use that to manipulate someone, because someone is taking their peace, their happiness, they're taking control of that. They're not allowing anyone to control it. And I had to say, I'm not going, no, I don't need no interpretation. If anything, I'm just going to go to the Bible myself and read it. So I really believe that a lot of times some of us want it from others
Mm-hmm.
instead of, if you're a Christian, Baptist, whatever your religion is, instead of going to the source of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that a lot of times that plays a factor in, but in the 52 years I've been on this earth, I can honestly say that all of that is for the birds. That is for the birds.
I mean, I was thinking about the song that says, "I left home to be with my side piece." He told you who he was. That man left home. I, and it's a catchy little song. You know, the words will offend you. The beat is nice, but when you listen to the words
The
will offend
words.
you. The words will offend you if you're actually listening. You know, you could be, jamming. That man said, "I left home to be
Mm.
with my home." That means he got somewhere to go. He's going back. Where's he going back home? He just left home to be with the side piece out here in these streets for 1, 2, 3 minutes. So he's going back home.
And we have Beres Hammond
Hmm.
is a Jamaican artist, and he has a song,
Okay.
and the way his song, it's called Double Trouble.
Mm.
So he's saying that he's with the side woman. He's wrapped up in her bed, but he know
Mm-hmm.
he's supposed to go home. And it's amazing because, okay, so Miss Butterfly said use prophets and people will use the Bible to fit their own meaning. There
Hmm.
she go. See, Kim says, "Amen." As thyself.
So that's right. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Amen. But what was he saying in the song?
But he was saying, double trouble is wrapped up in my bed because his woman is at home waiting for him,
Okay.
and he's
Okay.
out with someone else. But he want to be there, but he
Hmm.
know he got to go home. And I mean, when you listen to the words, I'm like,
Listen, I'm gonna say one more thing on this, or maybe two. Number one, there is absolutely nothing new under the sun. So men and women have been being men and women since men and women have been being men and women. And stories about men cheating on women and stories about women cheating on men and those stories are in every generation. You can ask your mom, your grandma, your great grandma, if your great grandma's still alive. It's part of human nature because we are full of flesh. We are fleshy people. We like our flesh to be satisfied. And they say, well, one woman won't do, another one will, et cetera, et cetera. Some people just like attention in multiple places. And you have to be a certain level of mature. And I wish MG was here because he's a married person and he could talk about this from a different view. But you have to have a level of maturity and discipline, those two things, in order to maintain fidelity. Because there's always going to be somebody taller, shorter, thinner, curvier, voluptuous, can dance better, can dress better. Like there's always going to be somebody out there like that. So the person, whether it's the man or the woman, has to just have the discipline and the maturity to not indulge in what's readily available. Side pieces are readily available. It's not a lot of, there's not a big job application description to be a side piece. They're ready available. They just need a little attention, sometimes a little money, sometimes, that text message, I'm thinking about you, the same attention that everybody else needs. That's why they stay in that position because their needs are being met.
mm,
We all have needs that need to be met. And sometimes we deny our flesh. When we're closer to God, we can deny our flesh, right? When you're
mm-hmm.
closer to God, you can deny your flesh a little bit easier. When you're not, it's a struggle. And so people can come in your DM and whisper in your ear, right? And so before you know it, you're like, man, and we remember being young. Remember breaking curfew? Why? Because you're having too much fun. You're like, I'm going to be in trouble. It's 2 o'clock. I'm supposed to be at the house. It's 2 o'clock. And I am 35, 45 minutes away from the house. Like, how? I might as well stay till 3 because I'm not going to get there
The
by
trouble
2 o'clock.
already.
It's already 2 o'clock. Flying home. And this was back when you had like beepers and stuff. So you couldn't even be like, I made it to the house. You was just like, okay, now how am I? This was before like alarms and now kids can't sneak in because the ring camera, it
Ring
messes them up
camera and
completely.
listen, and also the your phone, your location.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
try to turn your location off with your
yeah.
parents and see what's going on.
No, yeah. Look, in our generation, we could be all the way across town, the next borough over, where you could be in a different county. Talk about
And
I
they
was over.
try
I'm
this.
at Tonia's house. No, we was way over here at 45 minutes away. Is where we really were. But
Miss Butterfly said Jesus is love. And so we must love ourselves first to great love to others. And
okay,
MG said they be coming out of the
the
woodwork.
woodwork be coming out. They be coming
But
out.
McKenna, and remember I was saying, we're gonna talk about the streets, because I was welcome back to the street, okay, in 2024, right? And I gotta tell you,
What's out there in the street? What's out there in the street?
Ooh, them street, honey.
What's out there in the street?
No.
Mm-hmm.
If you are married, if you are engaged, if you're in a long-time relationship, you're thinking about marriage, you better go and think about it. Listen, there's nothing in these streets. I mean, I tell you, the quickest I get a number,
Okay.
I don't even lock it in my phone. It don't even get locked in, right? Because I
Okay.
promise you, after the third text, guess what happened?
Yeah. You already know what happened when you coming over. I just sent you 5 minutes ago.
Oh, how, and you sending pictures.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Not a picture of your face.
Right. And we grown. What do you, sir,
I'm sorry.
sir.
What happened?
Is this how you feel about yourself? Is this your only worth? Is this the only worth you have about yourself? Is this picture you sitting right here? This is what I want to ask these men. These men who in their 50s still sending pictures like they're 23. Sir, is that the only thing a woman ever valued about you?
Mm.
It's sad. We laugh about it, but it's sad. It's and so MG, we got to talk about this next week. The thing that I realize is that men, you talked about how you're working on your self esteem, and we've talked about this before. We all work on our self esteem because we go through waves in life, but men need to work on their self esteem too.
They do, and
They
I
need to
don't
work on
know
their
if
self-esteem.
it's the previous women they have encountered, or
Mm.
is it that because they have the saying that is more women than men, so they think that they could do whatever they want to do, how they want to do it, so women would just accept it. I'm really thinking that's what they're thinking. And when I tell you it just, I don't have to delete anyone because no one is programming the phone. I don't even store your number because I know after 2 or 3, 4 texts, I already know what's going to happen. I remember back in my birthday, and I was getting, hey, how you doing? Oh, what you doing for your birthday? Boo, 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 boo. And it was the day after my birthday, I got a text. Oh, happy birthday. How was your birthday? I said, it was great. I said, but I didn't get a Zelle from you.
Mm-hmm.
See, that way you know where somebody at, okay? Person, oh, I don't even have that app. That one, the dumbest lie ever.
Very dumb, but okay. That you told it. Okay.
And I laugh. I sent back a text, LOL. He ain't text back ever. That was April. I said, ooh. I said, yes. I know how to get rid of them now. I know how to get rid of them now.
Listen.
Just ask it. Look, tell about the Z word. Zell.
Zell.
Probably don't even have to get it all the way out.
I get no Zell for my birthday. Talk about I don't have that app.
App. That ain't an app.
I mean,
I didn't say Cash App.
didn't
I didn't say Venmo.
Nope.
I said Zelle.
You didn't even say PayPal.
I laughed so hard. I said,
You should look. You know what? Next time hit him with the money order. I didn't see no money order. Wait. No, what was it called? MoneyGram.
MoneyGram. Look, MoneyGram. Listen, and even go. You got iPhone?
No, I don't have iPhone.
Hey, look, do an iPhone. That's what I can ask them. They got iPhone. I'm like, why? Also, you could do iPay, right? Hunty. All I gotta say, because a lot of people, they quick. A lot of people they quick to jump out of the frying pan and jump into the fire. See, I had to jump out of. I think I was in the fire. I wasn't even in the pot. I think I was in the fire, so I had to jump. I had to jump in the pool and cool myself off. But the thing is that cooling yourself off, no desperate, not desperate, and no need, not lonely, none of that kind of stuff. So I'm pretty good. Some people are like, I'll be blocking it. You shouldn't even have to block somebody if you ain't put them in your phone.
Look, have fun out here in these streets. Just be careful. That's all. Have a good time out here in these streets. It's the same streets as it was. They just older, but they the same. They're not talking about nothing.
Nothing. And you, like you said, you too old to be sending those pictures. And darn well enough. The most you either got to take the blue pill first.
See, that's a whole nother show. That's a whole nother show. Gentlemen, but you know what? Maybe we need to have a show about the single Black men that are over 40. Yeah, but we need MG for that conversation because
we do because
we need a little balance because we might go a little too hard, so we need a little balance.
Yeah, we're gonna need to go hard with him because he did send me a text and he said he did get a new phone, so he was trying to do it. So I guess he gonna have to work on it for next week because we really got to get into it because, and it's unfortunate, but like I said, once you realize that you don't need anyone to validate who you are, or to even pay your bills or even to live, you're good. But unfortunately, there are people who don't think that way, and they are going to accept any and anything. That's just the part. So MG said, "Yep, I got some answers and questions."
Write them down, sir. Write them down.
MG, write them down.
We say we're not gonna remember, so go ahead and write them down, and we'll circle back. Listen,
download the app, the real app, for real.
No, but I had a problem too, because it wanted me to log into my Facebook account and I couldn't remember my Facebook password. I was like, let me go on my phone. Maybe it'll just sync on my phone. So it synced on my phone. I'll figure out the laptop next week.
Yeah, that's what I had to do. I had to switch from the iPad to the phone. So everything is updating. So we just probably need to update our side to get on because we was MIA for 2 seconds. It just seemed like forever. But like I said, with Let's Gripe, of course, with Mckenna and MG, we wouldn't be Let's Gripe. And definitely the Powerhouse Radio does allow us to be who we are and work. Because sometimes she'll text me like, hey, you guys going on? And I'm like, sometimes I look at the time and I'm like, oh my goodness. But like I said, life was lifing, but life is actually lifing still, but just getting in we're at an even pace now. A lot of times we have to take time out to take care of the things that need to get taken care of so we could be at that place that called peace.
Amen.
Peace. And once you at that peace, it makes it so good. McKenna, you just don't know how much I've always loved you. I always admire you. I always told you, always let you never hide it. You're always that person that if I needed to talk to just in general, you just always been that supportive person. But like hanging in here with me. I mean, like I said, the gratitude and like I said, it's like no Mckenna, no Let's Gripe, no MG, no Let's Gripe. You know, of course, we miss, you know, Kiki and we miss Andrew G. We miss them, you know, but, you know, life had been life, and so they went a little, you know, direction, but, you know, they're always welcome back. But we've been hanging in here. You guys hang in here with me. And like I said, it's like, without MG and without Mckenna, there is no Let's Gripe. So I thank you guys so much for always supporting us and hanging out and wanting to tune into us, because like I said, you know, Mckenna, I shoot jokes all day long. Kenna got jokes too. Mckenna got jokes too. But she also gonna come with the reality, and she gonna come with the straight up, and she gonna let you know it, then she gonna tell you, then of course she gonna tell you how to fix it. Me on the other side, I could, you know, I had to jump in and piggyback on her. But like I said, Mckenna, it's so good working with you. And outside of the Powerhouse Radio and Let's Go, we do got to get together. So we got to do something like really soon. But guys, we're coming back. We're going to come back hard. We're going to just try to keep it real and just talk about things that's going on. Things that we need to talk about. Politics, we're going to stay away from that. The other C word, we ain't going to worry about that. You know, taking vitamin C, stay healthy, you know. But Let's Gripe is back. Mckenna, you want to take us out?
I just want to say it's a pleasure to be back. We were gone, but we came right back in and picked up where we left off. We didn't miss the beat, and the energy, it just flows between us. And I love you too, Tonia and MG. We'll see you next week. And Lady D, we appreciate you getting us ready today.
And of course, don't forget tomorrow, Thursday, tune in for Reasoning Thursday with Lady D and the crew. That starts at 8 o'clock. And then we have the Lady D show on Saturday, which is 12 to 4. I'm telling you, you can listen to it on 89.1 FM. So listen, don't forget the Powerhouse Radio is also on the TuneIn app. So don't forget to download us there too as well. So Powerhouse, you can take us out however you want to take us out.
Oh. Yeah. You listen to the sounds of DJ Fourth Quarter in your ear right now. If you're in your car, if you're at home, if you're on your phone, let's gripe, baby.
Driving home and you're feeling kind of tired.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. See you next week.
Traffic got you jammed up every night. Tune in to Powerhouse. Wednesday, 7 to 9. You need to check them out. I promise I ain't trying to hype. But one good listen tonight, it might change your life. So what's the name of the show? When you need something to just ride, you want to go. Or you might be home, so log on. You can even dial in on your phone. I promise that you're gonna love it. Just try it one time, it'll blow your mind. Now I'ma say it just one more time. Every Wednesday from 7 to 9.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.